Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back here with another video. Wanted to just talk briefly about this extrusion line again. I know my videos have just been about this extrusion line for quite some time, but I wanted to show you guys what we're doing, plans for the future of making plastic and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So let me just show you what we have here. So you've probably seen my previous videos. I have this single screw extruder. It's the SJ35 desktop extrusion line. So this extruder itself, I was lucky enough to get this for under $2,000. I think last time I checked, this probably costs close to $300 to $3,500 currently, if you were to buy it from Alibaba overseas. So I got lucky with this, and I'll show you in a little bit. I think I got even more lucky with all this, and I'll kind of go over why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I've been able to basically extrude single color PLA with this machine. My raw cost for the resin is about $1.40 per pound, so you can do the conversion to kilograms. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, so just under about $3-ish. My math's probably not completely accurate, but it cost me about $3 a roll to make my own filament. And for the longest time, I've struggled with getting good consistent filament, and that had to do with the temperatures that I was using on this machine itself. Mainly it was the water bath. I think my temperatures in the water bath, the length of the water bath was not consistent enough to where it was forming the plastic in a consistent way. Sometimes it would be too cold, sometimes it would be too hot. And this is just my version 1 of our water bath. I'm working with Evan to do something a little bit more crazy down the line. So the water bath, right, the puller and the winder, these are things that really, I don't really think affect making plastic as much. You can argue that the puller, I can give an argument that if you need a good puller to be able to pull the filament at a consistent pace. So that I'll say is important. The spooler, on the other hand, is something that you can just buy or make for, you know, under $100. So this was a machine. I think this is what is it? This is a respooler machine that I, you know, put together with I think all these saws are public online. I got them from Make a World Printables, and you can just attach an electric gearbox motor here, and you're supposed to be able to basically respool a 3 kilogram roll on top down to a 1 kilogram. But I've been using this to basically spool plastic that comes off this machine. So I ignore the top part. I might actually just remove the top part altogether, and it just feeds into the PTFE tube down here, into a spool that I'm winding filament onto, and then with this knob, it'll just turn it and it'll spool it at a consistent pace and tension that's coming off of the extrusion line. So this only costs about, you know, if you build it yourself, probably under $100. You can buy these kits online. I think they're like $150 if you really wanted to buy it fully assembled. All right, well, first we're gonna start extruding some black. I just was waiting for this to heat up. Black is coming out, and really once you get like the temperatures dialed in, your mixture dialed in, your settings dialed in, I've been running this extruder basically, you know, I start in the morning, Evan stops it in the evening. In the morning we do the same routine over and over. It's been about 2 weeks, same routine, same consistent black filament coming out of this extruder. So after 2 weeks, things have been working pretty smoothly. Obviously I think maybe if I start to see any degradation in the plastic or any issues, then I will just take out and remove the screw and clean out the screw in the barrel. I actually have this down to a science where I know how to do it. It takes about 30 minutes, so it's not like a huge thing. But like in the beginning when I was disassembling these machines, my God, the learning curve was just crazy. And I probably spent close to 1,000 hours just learning this entire process to do regular PLA and get not just extruding PLA, because I can just, you know, get plastic coming out of this perfectly fine, but to be able to print with our black PLA, sorry, screen plans, consistently is what really the key is for this whole operation to work. Because if I can't extrude filament, then, or sorry, if I can't print with filament, then it's kind of useless. But yeah, going back to the economics, maybe I'll get into the economics later in this video. I just want to give a brief overview of what we're doing. You're probably wondering why there's 2 extruders here, and in a little bit I'll show you. I actually have both of these extruders running in parallel using the same water bath, the same puller, and that's why I have two spoolers at the end. Currently, the reason I have this one turned around was I was kind of just inspecting the internal electronics of this one. And let me kind of get into why I have two of them. You see two here. I actually have a third one. My third one is right here. So, and I actually have the fourth one. My fourth one's right over there. So, SJ35 I purchased it. I was having issues with it, actually. You know, I did a lot of tinkering with it. I think I shorted out the electrical component on one of the boards when I was disassembling the heater bands, and the electrical components accidentally touched. So I ordered another one. It was this one. And let me tell you, when this thing came, the entire shipping box was damaged. You'll see this one was not as badly damaged as the other one, but this one was completely damaged to the point where I had to do repairs to fix it. And so everything inside of here was kind of loose. I had to screw everything back. The wiring and everything was all loose. The fan was completely broken. I had to get another fan. The internal components in here were just all messed up. So I submitted this to the seller, and I was like, hey, this is broken. I would like to just return it. He had me send him all the photos. I'm assuming he submitted an insurance claim with, I don't know if it was UPS or FedEx, but I'm sure they got their money back with this. But anyways, I was like, hey, you want me to return this? You know, it's going to probably cost another $300 to, you're going to eat that shipping cost. So he just refunded me, dude. I got a whole refund for this entire machine. But I still had the same issue with this unit. So I was like, well, what I did was I ended up ordering another one. And that's this one over here. And you would think that these guys, you know, this thing probably weighs close to 200 pounds. Not 200 pounds, I'm sorry. It probably weighs close to 100, 120 pounds. But this one came, and I thought that my first one was in bad condition. This one was completely screwed. The electrical housing component here that houses all electrical here, completely broken off. Metal shrapnel was everywhere. The inside, I don't have a good video here, but all these controllers were on the floor. The wiring was all broken off. This was broken off. This entire control panel was broken off. Long story short, I did the same thing. I said, hey, this is completely messed up. And he refunded me again. It was actually a different seller. And you would think that the way these guys ship these things, they would ship them in some better condition. But I don't have the box. I thought I saved the box. But I think once I got the refund, I got rid of the box. The fan here that cools the motor was completely broken. Evan actually 3D printed a new fan piece. The housing is completely dented in. I don't have it here, but this housing piece that houses the fan, if you can see from over there, was completely dented in and broken off and unusable. But I've been working, this has been sitting idle for the past like 3 months here, and I just started, I fixed that one first. That one was fairly simple, no biggie. That's why I have two of them running at the same time, or I will have two running at the same time. This one I have just fixed yesterday, actually. Everything was rewired. I soldered a lot of the electrical components back in. Evan's gonna try to 3D print a mount or a cover here to store the electrical components onto this. He's gonna 3D print me another, model me another housing unit that will cover the fan. And I already tested everything to make sure that it works. All the controllers here in the front work with my use of duct tape. So this one works. This one over here is the SJ25, and you'll notice what the difference is with this is this one has 3 heating zones. So it has the one mold, 2 barrel, and then the front mold, the rear barrel. So here's the front. There's 1, 2, 3 heating zones, and then the fourth one is the feed cooling, which is just the front where the hopper meets the barrel. This one I paid about $1,500 for. I actually got a $300 refund because they shipped this with a stripped screw on the front here. which I am unable to get this thing off. But the screw was stripped. I disassembled it, and it was kind of like really rusty on the inside of this. So I was like, hey, did you guys ship me like a used unit? I went back and forth, and I ended up settling with just getting a $300 refund, which is fine. I was really just looking for some sort of compensation of why this was. It looked used to me, basically, is what I'm saying. Anyways, so I have 4 extruders. Okay, so I had recorded an entire like 15-20 minute segment after where this video just cut. So I have no idea where I left off, but I'm just gonna go and show you guys what the setup currently is. I think previously I was talking about like doing one water bath and splitting it 4 different ways. Functionality wise, that just didn't make any sense. So this is the current setup right now where I have 2 extruders going. They're not really going in parallel anymore. I created 2 individual water baths for each extruder, and I got 2 tables so that they were sitting on their own table. They are using the same puller mechanism because I only have 1 puller right now. Evan is working on designing another puller. Work in progress right now. So when that gets done, we're basically going to have individual lines with individual pullers and individual spoolers for each extruder. But right now, I have 2 extruders running. We're just pumping out black because we need a ton of black. But just by doing black, I no longer have to order black, which is kind of nice. I have this entire bin of black colorant in there. So this will probably last me like 6 months, honestly. Each machine right now can produce about, give or take, on average 12 rolls per day for an 8-hour cycle. Obviously, if you run it for a longer time, we can produce more. Yeah, this is the setup. 2 water baths. I've reduced the water bath down to about 2.5 feet instead of 5 feet. That's the old water bath over there. I don't really think I need a super long water bath for the speeds that I'm doing. I think in the future, if I do see more validity and whatnot, I might increase the water bath. For now, this is the water bath. Similar setup to how I had the other water bath, where I have basically this pump. I have 2 pumps. This one pumps water into that one. That's the other pump right there. That will pump water, there you go, into this thing, and then it fills it up to a set height, and then it drains back down, back into the water bath, and it's just this continuous cycle of cycling water. The heater is right there. That thing right there is the water heater. I currently have my water bath set to 90 Fahrenheit, I believe. And then every morning we dump a little bit of water out, and then we refill it with a little bit of water. So we try to cycle water once a week. We'll do a clean refresh. So the water bath, this is the current setup. I am testing another setup which should be a little bit easier. It's basically using these, I don't know if this was 10 gallon or not, but basically it's just like a water jug. And the idea is just to have the water there. You can install a spout to easily drain the water from it. And so fill this bad boy up. Each line will have its own tank. The heater will go inside, and then the pump will, same process as what I currently have. I just got this because it's easier for us to drain the water. We could just turn on the spout, drain the water, put some new water in daily to, get nice clean water for our extrusion line. All right, water bath, and then obviously we have the puller here, which is, I only have one, which is why I'm only using one right now, but I'm able to feed both lines through this one. We set up this little splitter thing that kind of splits the filament, goes through the puller, and then obviously down to their own individual spoolers. Evan is working on 3D printing a solution for this where we can easily 3D print another puller, and the reasoning for that is obviously number one, it's way cheaper. Number two is if any mechanical components break with this, we're kind of stuck with the manufacturer. We have to order like the parts, we have to wait 4 weeks for the parts to get in, and obviously tariffs are pretty expensive. So that's the reason for that. The spooler, this is just a 3D printed spooler. This is actually a respooler. There's another piece that goes on top. If you've seen these before, there are a ton of them on the market. The files are available online to 3D print one of these yourself. But basically, we took the top part off. And the purpose of this is to basically be able to respool a 3 kilogram roll on top down to a 1 kilogram. But I figured a way where I could just use this to spool filament that's coming off the extrusion line, right? And there's variable speed controls here to control the speed of the puller, and obviously each line is going to their individual puller, and so that's how that works. And again, the whole reason that we're doing 3D printed parts with this is because if any piece breaks, we can just easily replace it, fix it, modify it if we want to. At the end of the line, we might go to a 2 kilogram spool. But for now, the 1 kilogram works perfectly fine. We have to change the spool every 45 minutes. All right, I forgot where I left off with this, but yeah, 3D printed spoolers work perfectly fine. In the future, we might modify them to do 2-3 kilogram spools. But for now, this works. Once every about 40 to 45 minutes, we'll come replace the spools. We are using the Sunlu master spools that we have. We ordered like 1,000 rolls of this, and we've been saving the rolls for this exact reason. But yeah, down the line we have 2 running. I have a third one. The third one's going to go here, and then a fourth one is going to go here in the future. So I also did order I'm trying to order a mold, which is the front piece right there. You'll notice that these are using 2 different molds. I'm trying to order from my guy Dan. He made that mold specifically for his extruder. It's a 1.71 millimeter hole. This one I think has a hole of slightly bigger than 1.75. I think it's like 1.8. I haven't actually measured it, but it's obviously because of the different molds, it's gonna be, these are using different settings. So I kind of want to just get the same mold piece for all 3 of my machines. So 1, 2, 3. So hopefully I can get that soon, and I can get everything sort of synchronized with the same settings. It'll just make things easier to operate. But yeah, also printed out an extended hopper for this guy, similar to that one. So we've just been dumping the resin and the master batch color in there. The whole thing probably fills about maybe 5 kilos, I would assume. But yeah, that is the current setup. Once we get the new pullers designed and made, we'll basically, create 4 separate lines. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think about this setup. Like I said, we're doing about 24 spools per day. We've been pumping out ice cream pints right now. Actually, surprisingly, the ice cream pints are selling very well, even though it's nearing the winter, which honestly I did not expect. But we are continually producing them with our black filament. All right, just got the notification that we're gonna get 5 of our P2S machines in today via FedEx. Hopefully I'll get them in the next hour or 2. We can get them set up. We're gonna set them up right here behind me first. Evan, you want the P2Ss here or over there first? We got to see how many we can run on a line. I read that they draw like 1,000 watts when they start up, but when they're printing, they don't draw